name's Phil, and I'm the lead designer on Marvel's Deadpool VR.
And I'm Matt, and I'm the director of animation.
Where did the idea for this game come from?
If you look at the DNA of Twisted Pixel as a studio, given the opportunity to pick up an IP, like Deadpool was really high on the list, so everybody was talking about it, and that was one of our very favorite picks, and we're super excited that we got it. So really, this was we want to do Deadpool.
It's Marvel. Marvel's owned by Disney, and I know a lot of people have ideas for Marvel games, but ideas are cheap. So was this something you pitched to them and they just liked the idea?
We were in talks with Quest, with Meta, with Marvel, and with ourselves, and it was just kind of the perfect game. We talked about a story that we had in mind. Everybody came up with a great story and a cast of characters together, and it just came together perfectly.
But what are some of the challenges of making a VR game in 2025?
Twisted Pixel's on its 5th VR game now with Deadpool. We've learned a lot about what makes people feel comfortable playing VR. I think it's come a long ways in the last several years. We're much better at figuring out what makes people feel comfortable. If people are playing our demo today, they can see we have really good options for comfort. From the VR newbie who needs a lot of assistance to somebody who can just go and free roam. So we support a wide range of options, and it's really, really good for people, whether they're newbies at VR or they're super experienced.
It's like a big specific takeaway you folks took from past VR games that you applied to Deadpool.
Yeah, so this is our 5th VR game that we've worked on at Twisted Pixel, and comfort controls are something that we take very seriously. We've gotten very comfortable, no pun intended, at how to make things as comfortable as possible for whoever's playing the game.
So talk about the mechanics in your game. There seems to be a lot of different things. You can throw weapons, there's shooting, there's lots of different things going on.
So we're a first-person action game. We have range combat, we have melee combat, we have a whole bunch of explosives, but that's not the end of it. We want to be a super creative game. It rewards players for experimenting, and really, because it's Deadpool, we can do all sorts of crazy things. So if Deadpool is jumping off of a wall and you land on an enemy with your swords out, that does something. And it doesn't stop there either. Limbs, you can use those as weapons. So somebody comes at you, cuts off your arm, right? Well, what do? You take your arm and you just slap enemies with it, right? So it's super fun. It rewards experimenting. So when people are playing, we always say, try to slide and shoot, throw your guns, do all sorts of crazy stuff. And the game just tries to say yes to the player as much as possible, and that's our philosophy.
It's funny because in third-person games or first-person games that aren't VR, you have to move. You can move a lot faster because you're not looking around, and there's a sense of realism that you have to provide because people can't turn 180 in an instant. It takes them a few seconds. How does that play into the animation design of it?
So the animation design with VR, we do take into account where the player's face is in the virtual space, and we design animations, combat. Enemies will gear themselves in a way that'll kind of feed to the VR space perfectly and feel more natural. But we do also have options for turning with snap controls, smooth turning controls, so you can navigate around pretty quickly. There will be full, VR experience all the way around you and things to experience when you look around.
There's been now 3 editions of Deadpool in media. North, and now you got Neil Patrick Harris. Talk about that process. Was that a decision your team made or someone above your pay grade made?
We're making a unique Deadpool story, and we really wanted to have our own unique take on it. So having somebody like Neil Patrick Harris to put his own take on it was just a perfect fit. And I'm sure by now people have probably seen the trailer. He's doing an amazing job. So we're really excited to have him on there. But yeah, it's because we wanted to be our own original story.
As someone who gets VR sickness very easily, how would I enjoy this game as someone who's not great in VR?
I think you'd be fine. I think you jump in. We have a lot of comfort control settings. We have beginner mode all the way up to advanced mode in terms of just comfort control. But like I said earlier, we do take into account how to make things as minimal or as easy as possible on the stomach for the average player.
We've been covering VR at Shacknews since its inception. Is it still the Wild West of VR development, or have things settled to a more procedural, way, a more standard way?
So I think we're starting to find that we can push on quality more so than just figuring out how to make people comfortable with it. So I think we're in a good place with comfort now, and Matt was just talking about it. Things like ding-a-ding and snap turn really make it easier for somebody who used to be motion sick, even with normal games, even outside of VR, because some people feel motion sick even with just corridors. So So we're really getting good with that. So now we can concentrate on having good gameplay. And if you look at Marvel's Deadpool VR, we have such an interesting array of gameplay. Like, I mean, the shooting is tight, the melee combat feels responsive, it's got really good feedback, so we're pushing the quality there and the depth of experience in a way that we haven't been able to do a whole lot in the past. And because we're using the Quest 3 and just a Quest 3 headset, it gives us the bandwidth that we need to be able to make a game this big, really.
Were you guys able to take advantage of the hand tracking at all in the game?
This game we designed to be used with controllers. It gave us the best feel for it. There's a lot of fast-paced combat, a lot of options to use with swords, guns, grenades, different types of weapons. And so we felt that the controllers really gave you the most physical feel for it that worked best with that system.
Any plans for peripherals, swords, guns?
Can't really speak to that, but right now the game is just a controllers-based game, but that would be pretty awesome.
What's a big misconception of VR game dev from an outsider looking at your job?
I think the obvious one, well, there's kind of two, right? Is the first one is VR is going to make me sick. I mean, that's kind of the common one. It's changed a lot. I mean, to be honest, I joined Twisted Pixel last year myself, and I came in and, I was super surprised at how good these guys are at doing comfort controls. So that's a big one. The other one is, VR games are smaller. They're not smaller anymore. We're making some pretty good games. Like this game, for example, has a full-fledged campaign. We've got replayability. Like, it's changed a lot. So I think when people are looking at a game like Deadpool, like, it's time to try VR. Like, it's time to come try again, especially if they've tried in the past and they weren't too sure.
Now, I know you guys probably can't say a lot about the story, but when we see other mutants in your game, Magneto, Colossus, Wolverine, Cable, I could keep listing X-Men forever. I love X-Men, so.
It's a good question. So when you work on a superhero game, everybody on the team has their own favorites, and everybody wants to see their favorite character. So at some point you make a list. I think we have some really cool characters. We've got Omega Red, we've got Lady Deathstrike, we've got Flag Smasher, we've got Mojo, which people haven't seen a whole lot of. And there's some other ones too we haven't even talked about yet. People are going to be surprised. I think when they go through the game, they're going to see that we go through some really exotic spaces in the Marvel Universe. We go to Symkaria, we go to Yashida, we go on the Spirit of Xandar, and there's some characters we haven't even talked about yet. So can't speak to specifics. Wish we could, but there's a lot.
Will we go to Mojoverse?
We're going to do Mojo World a little bit, yeah.
That's perfect for your game, especially with Deadpool. It's a TV show, reality TV show.
Yeah, Mojo is a big core part of the story content for this game, for sure.
So when does the game come out, and what platforms are you available at launch? Are you aiming for other VR platforms after?
So we're coming out for MetaQuest 3 and 3S. We're coming this year. The date isn't settled just yet, but we are shipping in 25.
Where would you like to see VR games 5 years from now?
I'd like to see them just continue the trajectory that they've been traveling on so far. I think building bigger and better, longer experiences, comfortable headsets. The Quest 3 is a very comfortable headset, the most comfortable I've felt so far, in my development for virtual reality. So yeah, I would just like to see it just keep on getting better and better as it's been doing.
Better body detection, I think, is the big one. Like, the closer we can get to like Star Trek holodecks, the happier I'll be, right? Like, to me, like, that's the future. Whoever figures out holodeck, like, we win. So that's what I'm excited about. But the more we can detect a body, the more we can have immersive experiences, the more we can have your brain be more comfortable with what you're doing on screen. So I think, to me, that's what's the most exciting.